Hi guys, this is Barb Hartman and Happy New Year. In early December, our friend and neighbor showed up at our house early one morning. She was with a friend of hers who I had met prior. They were both very excited but in a state of emotional shock. The woman and her husband were the house guests of our friends. The four of them had been walking on an old logging road near our house on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State. The women were walking about 3 yards behind their husbands with their dog. They began to hear what they called your typical Bigfoot whoops over and over. Now, they soon realized that the calls were coming from their right and their left. At first, they were both frozen with fear. Even the black German Shepherd stopped in her tracks and tilted her head to the side to listen. My friend began recording on her camera, and here's the video that she got. My friend said she had heard whoops like that in some of my audio recordings. I sent her the link of a video that I had that matched their description as to what they had heard that day. After listening to my audio, they both agreed that it was almost identical, except there were several different tones and pitch to the vocals, strongly indicating different ages and genders of the beings who made the calls that day. Here's the audio of mine that they chose. According to both witnesses, the audio of the whoops that I had played prior to this most closely resembled what they heard. However, the voices that they heard were from both genders and various ages. A few days after the encounter, I went out to the exact area to investigate. I found the energy of the forest trails and whatever was in there to be overall pleasant and peaceful. I did feel some weird and somewhat dark energy in one of the small areas, but I just think that I'm not familiar with what's there. I do know that the energy in that small area did not belong to any of the forest folk, including Sasquatch people and the wolf dog people that I'm familiar with. One thing I definitely wanted to mention and have shown in my most recent videos is the absolutely bizarre camera and video glitching that occurs in several of the very active spots on that trail. the ridge that goes along there. I kind of want to take a look at that. And there was a report. So our neighbor here at our house on the Olympic Peninsula, they had people staying with them for the weekend. They're friends. We've met before. Local people. Real nice people. Yeah, this was the last time we were here. Look at that, how that tree. Just 1 second. Look how that tree is over and pinned down. I don't know. Definitely can't get to that. I would be very unsafe because of the way that this is piled up. So anyway, so they're taking a walk out this road that I'm gonna come to in a little bit. And they were probably right about where I'm gonna end up. And they showed up at our house a couple weeks ago. Like I said, we were all here at the same time, and showed up, and it was I don't know, like a Sunday morning, not real early, but early enough. And they're like, "Oh, sorry, we don't mean to bother you, but we just heard what we think was Sasquatch." And well, they said Bigfoot. You know, I call them Sasquatch. Though my clan calls themselves Sasquatch. She said, "Yeah, we heard Bigfoot, and it was like the whooping noises, and heard them on two sides of the road, as if there was a group of maybe like, I think she said like 3 to 4, I believe she said, that were kind of answering, were communicating with each other across the road. Now the husbands were about maybe I think she said like 100 feet, I believe she said, like in front of them, walking. And then it was the two women and their dog, our neighbor and their dog. She said that she had heard it before from which I thought I was like so excited about this. She had heard it before in my videos that I had taken, or my audio that I had recorded from my house back on the Key Peninsula. And this was the area where they heard it. And it was funny because the day before, Randy and I had been walking through here, and I haven't even reviewed those tapes. I have a bunch of, those recordings. I have a bunch of those, and I said, geez, I wish that you guys would make some kind of like a noise, or like do something to really, really show that you're here. Well, they did it the next day. But I don't know if it was, did they know? I don't know. That seems, they know they were going to come and tell me? Could be. They're certainly smarter than most people give them credit for. I mean, I'm talking like, phew. Ooh. Really superhuman intelligence. No, that's just but I don't know if that's a little one there. Let me zoom out a little bit. Oh, I gotta show this camera. Wait, oops, sorry. Love it. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna zoom back out. I'm hearing noises. Right in there, Well. Yes, well, anyway, so I will go on with my story. So, they said they heard this side of the road and that side of the road. I think the husbands were back up there where that like gate is, if you can see the like a gate there. And that's where they were. So yeah, they were right in this area. Tree line, this is just incredible. I don't think that's anything. I saw movement, but up there, but it could be deer, because they would start coming out about this time. All right, well, just do a quick little sweep around and okay, so yeah. That is that ridge.